In today's world, we trust technology to save us. A phone call, a voice command, a signal reaching someone who can help. But what if help hears you and still doesn't arrive? In every story you're about to hear, someone reached out for help. They were heard. They were acknowledged. And yet, none of them survived. These are real emergency calls, where timing failed, systems broke down, and silence did the rest. Kyle Plush was 16 years old, a student at Seven Hills School in Cincinnati, Ohio, a tennis player, a normal teenager with plans, routines, and a future that still felt wide open. On April 10, 2018, just after 3 p.m., Kyle arrived at his school parking lot for a tennis match. It was an ordinary afternoon. Nothing felt dangerous. Nothing felt wrong. Kyle was driving a 2004 Honda Odyssey minivan. After parking, he realized his tennis bag was still in the back. Without thinking twice, he climbed inside through the rear, moving past the folded seats toward the cargo area. That decision would quietly seal his fate. As Kyle reached for the bag, the rear seat mechanism suddenly released. The heavy seat snapped backward, throwing him into the back compartment. He landed upside down, pinned between the seat and the trunk. Nearly 70 pounds of pressure crushed down on his chest. He couldn't breathe properly. He couldn't move his arms. Every attempt to shift his body made the pressure worse. Kyle fought anyway. He pushed, he twisted, he tried to lift the seat even an inch, but the angle was wrong. The space was too tight. Every movement drained what little strength he had. Panic crept in. But Kyle didn't lose focus. Unable to use his hands, he activated Siri using his voice and instructed it to call 911. At 3:16 p.m., the call connected. Kyle's voice was weak and distorted. The dispatcher struggled to understand him. His words came out broken, cut off by strained breaths. Between gasps, he managed to say something terrifyingly clear. "I'm at Seven Hills. I'm going to die here." Police were dispatched to the school parking lot. At 3:26 p.m., 2 officers arrived. They walked the lot, looked around vehicles, listened for cries for help. Everything seemed normal. Kyle was still trapped, silent, invisible, just a short distance away. As minutes passed, breathing became harder. Oxygen deprivation began to take hold. Still, Kyle tried again. At approximately 3:35 p.m., he made a second 911 call. This time, desperation sharpened his voice. He described the vehicle, a gold 2004 Honda Odyssey. He knew time was running out. "I probably don't have much time left," he said. "If I die, tell my mom I love her." Those words were recorded, they were heard, but they were never passed on to the officers already nearby. At 3:37 p.m., the call was closed. The officers left. Kyle remained trapped inside the van. For hours, no one came. At around 9 p.m., Kyle's father went looking for him. When he opened the minivan near the school, he found his son still pinned in the back. Kyle had been alive while help was close. He had called, he had explained, he had waited. Years later, the city of Cincinnati reached a $6 million settlement with Kyle's family. His death changed emergency dispatch procedures across the country. But those changes came 6 hours too late. Some disappearances shock people. Others feel like they were forming long before the person vanished. Susan Powell's disappearance felt like the second kind. Susan documented everything: journals, emails, notes. Not because she was paranoid, but because she felt unsafe. Writing was the only control she had left in a life that felt increasingly unstable. Her husband, Josh Powell, wasn't openly violent. He didn't yell, he didn't hit, he didn't look dangerous. That's what made him dangerous. He was quiet, emotionally distant, cold in a way people noticed but couldn't explain. Susan carried most of the weight in the household. She worked, she raised the children, she managed finances. Josh drifted between jobs, growing resentful and detached. Friends noticed Susan changing. She became quieter, more cautious, always tense, like someone waiting for something she couldn't see. Then there was Josh's father, Stephen Powell. His obsession with Susan crossed every boundary. He filmed her constantly, wrote songs about her, spied on her through reflections while she showered or changed clothes. Susan felt hunted. Josh knew, and he did nothing. That silence mattered. In one journal entry, Susan wrote something chilling. "If I die, it may not be an accident, even if it looks like one." She named Josh directly. This wasn't paranoia, it was fear shaped by experience. Susan had begun researching divorce, quietly preparing an exit. She never got the chance. On the night of December 6, 2009, Susan was home with her two sons, Charlie, 5, and Braden, 2. Josh later claimed he took the boys camping in the middle of the night, in winter, on a school night. It made no sense. Susan stayed home, supposedly unwell. By morning, she was gone. Her purse was still there, her phone untouched, her shoes and coat left behind. No signs of struggle, just absence. Police arrived. The house felt wrong. Not messy, not chaotic, just empty, like someone had been erased. Josh returned with the boys, calm, detached. Officers noticed scratches on his hands and neck. His explanations shifted. His story bent every time it was questioned. The van tested positive for blood. Still, it wasn't enough. Then Charlie began talking. "Children don't lie well. Mommy came with us. Daddy took Mommy somewhere. Mommy didn't come back." Josh showed no grief, no panic, no desperation, only silence. Years later, during a supervised visit, Josh locked himself inside his home with the boys. Screams followed. Minutes later, the house exploded. He had killed his sons and himself. Only after his death did authorities confirm what everyone already knew. Susan Powell was murdered. Her body has never been found. Loretta Pickard was 76 years old and lived alone in Lakeland, Florida. She had recently undergone hip surgery and relied on a walker to move through her home. On the night of November 23, 2018, her house caught fire. Loretta didn't panic. She didn't waste time. She called 911. From the moment the call connected, she was calm, clear. She explained that she was alone and couldn't escape on her own. She wasn't screaming. That's what made the call unbearable. For nearly 20 minutes, Loretta stayed on the line as smoke filled her home. Sirens grew louder outside. Firefighters arrived while she was still alive. She asked softly, "They know I'm in here, right? They're coming for me." Help was outside, but no one went in. For 8 agonizing minutes, Loretta waited as smoke thickened and her breathing slowed. Protocol mattered more than urgency. Reassurance continued, but reassurance doesn't stop smoke. Her voice weakened, her breaths slowed. Then came silence. When firefighters entered the house, Loretta Pickard was already dead. Later investigations revealed failures, hesitation, and even a firefighter recording a video while she was still inside. Policies changed, but Loretta died believing rescue was moments away. Some calls don't end when the line goes silent. They stay behind, in recordings, in reports, and in the people who heard them. Every person in this video asked for help. They were heard, but hearing wasn't enough. These stories aren't meant to scare you. They're reminders of how fragile timing can be, and how silence can sometimes be louder than screams. If this video stayed with you, that's because it was real.